Hey man, what it do, YouTube? It's your boy back again. What up, man? Video, you feel me? Uncle Demi say thank me later. I seen this later, but I had some disturbance going on in my sleep. So every time I woke up, it made me want to go back to sleep. So we're here to it now. I got 11,000. So let's see what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? Get to it. Make sure you subscribe to Uncle Demi. I need to see this. He got insights.
2K released the roadmap, and there's a portion of that roadmap that I think a lot of people are just not truly getting or understanding or brought to the attention of, whatever you want to call it. But that's what I'm here for. Okay, I'm here to bring the attention to some things that y'all might not be seeing. All right, so what I want to bring up is within that roadmap, the My Player Build Diversity section. It says the My Player Builder has been balanced to ensure that all heights, short and tall, can be effective on the court and encourage more build diversity. Overall, the My Player Builder remains intuitive for beginners, but veteran players can dive deeper into creating their perfect build.
I think they said something like that last year too. Quote me on that. Somebody quote me on it.
Right now, y'all remember when I dropped the video about how big builds are coming back, right? And a lot of y'all were like, oh, you know, that's not good for the game or whatever else. Hell, some of y'all were saying I didn't know what I was talking about. And I tried to tell you, I mean, these are really good educated guesses based upon how the game has been going for the past 5 years. Okay? I don't have any type of insider information. I don't need.
I'm gonna speak on that. For the people that say, oh, the game's it's not good for the game if the big builds are good, you're completely wrong. Because in the reality, if the big builds are good, that means, I always say this, if tall guards are meta, that means every height is useful. 2K23, y'all was over there moping about the 6'9s, but in reality, the 6'10s, the 6'11s, the 7-footers, the 6'8", 6'10", every height in that game was viable. Every height. Yes, it was annoying to go against 6'9", but if you know what you're doing, you can stop that. I had a 6'8". I was over there stopping them 6'9s. It was easy. It was really easy. So if tall guards are good, they feel good when you actually play them. They actually move quick. That was the one thing in 23, 6'9", 6'10s. They was actually moving like they were supposed to on the court. They could still dribble. The build diversity that you can go real and deep into on 23 was good. Like, for example, if I want to create like a 6'8" sharp with a 95-3 and a 95 midi, I can do that. You see the diversity there? You can do that with 6'9s. I think 7-footers can get a 93 ball. That was their max if you win minimum wingspan. You know what I'm saying? So that creates build diversity. Instead of this year, you've seen straight 6'4s and 7-footers, and that's it. Maybe some 6'8s, some 6'10s. They was some ISO type of player, but that was literally it. The meta guard was 6'4". That's because you can do everything. You're the tallest height that can still get Patty, that can still get what Darius Garland. If tall builds are good, you will see more of that spread. Look at 19, or even 18, 17. You already not 17, 15 and 17, but 15 you already know who he's on. 7-foot small forward going stupid. Come on now.
This stuff is right here in front of us. When it comes to the game, every single year, when we have a new release of a game, all you have to do is look at the previous game and figure out what all the flaws was, what people were complaining about, and then you can come up with some explanation of like, well, they have to do this at least because this is what everybody's complaining about. Okay.
He's not wrong, because what were people complaining about in 23? The 6'9s. The 6'9s wasn't as valuable in 24. They were still all right, but you know what I'm saying? They wasn't as valuable as 23. What was people complaining about in 25? The taller builds moving slow. It don't really represent what a taller build can do in real life. Like that. So I think they're gonna go crazy.
This is 2K is a consumer business, right? They need to keep their consumers happy, and too many people were complaining about shooting being too hard. Okay, and we talked about that in my previous video. And then they also spoke about how centers were just clunky. Okay, they had no value. Everybody was making 7'3" pure inside centers, right? Just it was, y'all know what I'm talking about, okay? So when I said big builds are coming back, it was because I knew there's no way another 2K was gonna come out to with big builds or what they say tall builds weren't gonna be effective, okay? And once you take that bit of information, all right, and then go back and it says, and encourage more build diversity. What I want to speak on is this, okay? And this is where the part comes in where I want everybody to really sit down, turn off any surrounding distractions, and just listen to me. The builder, okay? The builder is literally only 20% as far as dictating.
Yes, man.
How and where, when, what type of build you're going to make, okay? It's going to have solely to do with gameplay. I've been talking about this for years, okay? And every single time I bring it up, you know, people just talk without thoroughly understanding the environment and how the community operates. Everybody's going to go to the meta, okay? No matter what game you play, if it's a meta build, if it's the best bang for your buck, you're gonna do it. So then the question will be, well, how do you get diversity if people are immediately gonna find a meta build and then everybody's gonna make that build? Well, duh, just make sure there's a lot of metas that people can make. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
In my personal opinion, I think 2K26 builder is gonna be like a Freedom 19, if y'all remember, or even might a little bit more on that 23 side, or like I said, Freedom 19. And the reason being, 19, tall guards was good. You can be a sharpshooter. You can be a point forward, like an elite point forward. You get I think like an 88 ball handle at 6'8". That's fine enough. You get some decent animation. You get some good animations with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we had height caps on animation. So I think, yeah, because jump shots, we didn't have no restrictions. We can use anything. But when it comes to the tall builds or short builds on there, he was able to do it all. You just had to make the right build that fits in your style. So if the gameplay allows that, you will see so many builds.
It's right. I'm not trying to say it's simple, but we do have a blueprint, okay?
We got all types of blueprints.
Now, I've been very big and high on 2K20. I feel like 19 and 20 were great games. And I feel
19,
like 19's dribbling and how that was great. But what 20 did was even better, because 19 builds that couldn't shoot could really shoot, but in 20 they really opened it up and allowed a lot of people to be able to make builds that weren't great shooters but could still, if you had really good stick game, you could shoot, okay? To this day, the best build of all time is the yellow-red two-way slashing playmaker.
Hell no. The 7'2s or the 7 foot small forwards at 2K15. Them shits had 95 everything. You know, here.
And what made that build so great, and what made it to where you had to be great to use it. Shout out to my man LaMonster, right? I remember vividly in the builder, the day of, me and LaMonster and some of the other fellas, every single 2K, you know, especially me and Mont, when it opens up in Australia, we'll go ahead, play together in Australia servers, getting the idea what type of build we want. And I remember Mont was like, yo, I'm thinking about going with this two-way slashing playmaker. And I was like, what? I was like, bro, like that dude only has a 65-3. Like, how you gonna be able to shoot with that? We made that build. Well, he made that build. I made this big, like, little stretch. And we were playing twos in Australia servers. And we know about the latency and stuff. And this dude was sparking with an 85. He was an 85 overall, didn't have the badges. More back then, you had to get, like, the release and stuff. So I think he only had, like, silver releaser or whatever you call the badge.
Quick draw.
You know, no, actually, he didn't even have that. So he was shooting really slow, but he was greening. He was hitting shots with it. And this is without a hot spots and that type of deal. So when that happened, I was initially like, man, I don't know, dog. Like, you know, because remember in 19, the sharpshooting playmakers were huge, right? The sharpshooting playmakers, which it was, you know, more shooting, a little bit of playmaking, really OP. So to go this direction was different, right? But when he ended up making that build and dropping the video, the community, I remember community in the comment section was calling the build trash. This ain't gonna work. This and that. And man, it only took what? Maybe like 4 days. And when Mont got all those badges, he got his hot spots. He had the, what was it? I almost called like silver quick draw, whatever it was. I can't remember what base it was back then. Man,
I think that nigga was using 38 or fucking either it was 38 or 98. It was one of them. That nigga was sparking on that build. I remember that shit.
That build could get contact dunks. That build had Hall of Fame playmaking. It had Hall of Fame defense. It had gold finishing badges. And even though he only had like 8 shooting badges, I can't remember what badges he picked. This man was killing, okay? And so again, the reason why that build became great was not because everybody could use it, but if you were really good at the game and you knew how to time your shot and shoot it with a low 3, then you could be great, okay? So then now let's go to another aspect. Let's look at somebody like Annoying. Remember Annoying TV? He was out there with a pure green pie chart using a facilitating sharpshooter, pure green, and was fading, you know, his whole running wagers with a pure green pie chart, right? As a PG, was doing all those fades, those threes, etc. I can go down the list. Ticino, right? Ticino went with a yellow green sharp shot creator, was able to do all those crazy shot creating shots and that type of deal, okay? G-Sice made a red blue paint beast that had like a 50 something 3-ball,
and it was
right?
green,
and sent that build to dominance. It was one of the best center builds in the game in 2K20. Then we had these 6'8 pure red centers. I remember I made a defensive anchor pure red. I only had like maybe like a 64, 65 3-ball, if that, 'cause I had max wingspans, and I was able to shoot. Okay, we can go down the list. What was my man that played in 2K League? He made the
BP build?
No, it was a half blue, half green.
Green, yeah, BB.
I can't remember what it's called. I can't remember what that build was called, man. It was after his name. I'm sorry, I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, BB. He's talking about BP build.
But
The BP build.
He made that point guard build, and it went straight dominant. Like everybody was talking about how good that build was. Like you can use that build too. Okay. Another build I made a pure blue lob threat, running in stage, being able to shoot threes in the corner with it. It was so fun, right? Because it was skill set and skill. If you had skill at the game, then you could be able to utilize that. What happened that changed all this, right?
The gameplay.
It was going this direction. It was great. The balance, everybody making builds. What changed it? It was the damn cheaters. So what happened was, if you remember, there was no such thing as different timings on your shot. Okay, remember this. Think back at 2K20. No matter if you were 6 feet from the basket, if you were 50 feet from the basket, the timing was the same. The stamina didn't have anything to do with none of that, right? Then what happened was, first it was the original strike pack. The strike pack was able to just green every single time. So what did 2K do? All right, cool. Well, now if your stamina drops a little bit, you know it's going to change the shot timing, right? Remember that, right? And then all of a sudden, when the strike pack found out another thing about it, it was like, okay, found a way to circumvent that. Then what happened? 2K was like, all right, cool. So not only if the stamina's gonna do it, we're also gonna change the shot timing based upon how far you are. So if your foot is on the 3-point line, that's gonna be a different speed. But then if you're like 2-3 feet behind that line, that's gonna be a different speed. And then what happened? 2K tried to, the strike packs ended up fixing that, okay? So then 2K, went straight kamikaze style, started moving the green window and all that type stuff. And then what happened? Then they brought out the Titans, right? Those Titans, and now Titans can do it no matter what. No matter what 2K can do, a Titan will always figure it out. Okay, so I just went down a whole list of what changed that from 2K20. Remember, 21, that's when we started getting. Everybody had to have, like, if the shooting was so hard, you had to have a pure. Remember, people were running around with pure green centers, right? Because you couldn't even make a red-green center anymore because the shooting was that hard.
The new Dyson Air.
He not lying, bro. Cheaters did toss that shit up in the air for us.
Okay? So what I'm getting at is that you have to 2K has to get rid of all that dynamic moving timing of your moving of your green window, this and that. If they're talking about getting to build diversity, have diversity in the community, this is what they have to do.
He's on par. He's on the diet. He's on the diet. And the reason why I'm agreeing with this, like he said, 20, all them bills you used to have. I had a catfish slasher. It was a pure yellow slasher, bro. Niggas was leaving me wide open in that motherfucker. Oh, nigga, shit, I don't mind if I do. You know what I'm saying? But the gameplay and builder go hand in hand when we're talking about the my career mode. Everybody knows that. The builder lets you be diverse in your own way, split you up here. Oh, I made this build. Go out there. The gameplay allows me to really impact my playstyle. I'm able to do what I'm able to do because of the gameplay. 25, you can have a 90. If you still ain't gonna be greening like you got a 99. You know what I'm saying? You can have a back then, like he said, the 2-way slashing playmaker. I had one. I had a 2-way slashing playmaker. I had the BP build. I didn't use it though. I just had it. I had it in the tuck. You feel me? My mid range playmaker. He was 6'7". He was goated. Can't lie. I had a 2-way playmaker. It is another build. I had a point forward, and I had another build. I don't remember what it was, but with all them builds, I was still able to shoot, so I was still real confident in that feature because I know how to time a shot. Nigga, that ain't a hard thing. The hardest thing is to get open first. I gotta get open, then I gotta time the shot, then I gotta worry about Back then, you ain't have to worry about that. You got open, green every time. Green, as long as you ain't mistiming that motherfucker. Green, you can go in there and go 7 for 7. Green, I'm on here busting your ass. You didn't even know. Green, like, we need to bring that shit back. It's a video game at the end of the day. If you want to stop a nigga, play some defense. You know what I'm saying? But the gameplay, the builder, if the builder actually lets you to be diverse, the gameplay has to support that factor. So if I got a lower 3-ball, but I can still time it, let me do that. If I got a higher, if my green window or my 3 higher, you already know I'm gonna keep taking a step back to you go see me at the half court shooting them bitches over and over again because I got that higher 3. I got that shit. But if I got the lower one, definitely gonna be getting open. Try to get enough separation so where I can get the shot off in a good time. Green beans. Everybody gonna have fun on their own build.
There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If it is difficult to shoot in NBA 2K26, everybody's gonna run around with the same builds again. The same centers
99s.
in the game because they're gonna get find a center that can shoot, and they make it from there. Right? Everybody's gonna have the same type of guard builds.
What 6'4" and 7-footers, 99 rebound. You gonna use the cap breakers to get them motherfuckers out there. We're gonna do the 6'4", 99 guard. I don't think L2 season gonna be as heavy in 26 like it was this year, but we gonna have something different.
Because again, if it's that difficult, if shooting becomes easier and the green window stays as the green window, okay. And if the stamina has nothing to do with shots, like basically what 2K is saying is, hey, listen, you know what? The small part of this community that's paying for Titan and all the other software stuff that comes with it, who knows how many they are, but for that little small community of y'all, you know what? Y'all got it. But the 99% of the community, we're going to focus on y'all now. We're going to bring it back to 2K20, 2K19 vibes where you can just shoot. You can do. That's what it's going to take if you want to get build diversity. So that's what I'm hoping happens, because if it doesn't go that direction and they bring back the same stuff they did in 25 as far as the stamina, the distance, the movement of the green window, and you have to use the right pro stick to shoot and all that, people are just going to go to find a meta. But if you make it easier to shoot, you remember, come on guys, think about it, 19 and 20, all the builds that you saw out in the park. We've never seen that type of diversity before. I remember Jerry's twin was rocking a rim protecting stretch. I remember Power DF had like a rebounding sharp or whatever it was called, right? And these are all big creators and they all had different pie charts and they all figured out a way, because shooting wasn't that big of a deterrent, so they can make different things. But we have to understand, in modern day basketball, if you cannot shoot a 3, your build is pretty much not going to be great unless you're playing Pro-Am and you're playing 5 using pick and roll with the center. But if you're playing anywhere else, your build has to be able to shoot. But nobody wants to make stretch every time, right?
Yeah.
Remember in 19, you could make a pure post scorer, right? And I can still shoot and
Fuck the pair post score. That's the reason why niggas is making 6'10" locks. Them niggas can shoot still. They had like a 65-3. Nigga, you can shoot with that motherfucker consistently, bro, if you knew what you was doing, bro.
Park in the corner, right? People were using pure lockdowns. Like, I mean, there was so much diversity because the threshold of hitting a shot in the corner wasn't that high. People were making a pure glass cleaner. It can still shoot in the corner.
What? Nigga, 2K17 niggas was doing that shit. You had your hot spots in the corner, bro. You making the motherfuckers. If you was a slasher, you knew what you was doing. You was making the motherfuckers. Like, they need to bring that shit back, bro. Like, that shit, that's gonna bring back a good majority of niggas in the community. I ain't gonna lie. Oh shit, I can shoot with this. I can shoot with this. I can have this, but hey, what that then that's when you see niggas start creating different guard builds. Like me, I got my 6'8". Sick, nigga. 6'8" and my 6'9". That's the same build. You know what I'm saying? But when, like I said, the gameplay lets you do that to a high extent, especially if you know what you're doing. It's gonna be more fun. You're gonna see the more different types of builds. You're still gonna be viable with every build you come out here. You're like, we got a 70. So I'm butter with this goddamn 70, boy. You better learn something. And then add on to it, they set the 5-level system for the takeovers coming back. We still don't know how they doing that. We get the builder on the week of the 4th. So hopefully when we see that shit, we see how everything's play out, see what builds they can make.
Y'all know what I'm talking
about. But the
about,
gameplay needs to be right, bro.
Nadex had a pure glass cleaner, was able to shoot in the corner. You know, let me see. I can go down the list. Duke Dennis, right? Duke Dennis had a shot creating stretch or something. It was a weird name, right? But he had that. Like, people had different, because you could shoot. You could do different things to be able to shoot. You know what I mean? So I just named major creators that all had different builds. But now if you look, every single creator basically has the same build if they're playing comp, right? It's all basically the same in some way, shape, or form. So if 2K is talking about build diversity, that's what they're going to need to do. And I hope that's the route that they go. Y'all let me know in the comment section, how do you feel about this?
Let me know, because in my opinion, I agree with Uncle Demi. They want that build diversity. The gameplay is gonna have to allow it. It's the bread and butter. Like he said, 2019 can go out there with any build, you can still shoot. You know what I'm saying? Might not be elitely, like you got a lockdown, a 6'10" lockdown. Might not be elitely, but if you know how to time that motherfucker wide open, that shit's going in. Feel me? So hopefully they do that. Let me know how y'all feel. I'm about to subscribe, like, share, man.